Happy Friday, Yarmouth. Welcome to this week's Friday 5, where I cover 5 things happening in town that you might want to learn a little bit more about. Now, despite the snow this week, signs of spring keep popping up, including the floats down here at the commercial boat launch. It's exciting. With floats out, moorings are sort of quickly coming in behind it, means that the boats will be out on the water in no time. So hang with us, sit back, relax, and welcome to this week's Friday 5. We're kicking things off this week with sort of a new segment that we're trying to do and highlight some of the great committee work that we've got here in town. I'm here with Colin Durant, who's the chair of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee here in Yarmouth. And despite the forecast this weekend, bikes are out.
Yeah, bikes are out. Spring is here. Spring has sprung, and the exciting thing about that is kids, people of all ages, are out taking advantage of the amazing sidewalks, paths, and everything we have here in town to get to school or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, so we have such an amazing bike culture here in Yarmouth.
We do.
It's the ability to connect neighborhoods to schools, to different shops. It's really one of our hallmarks, and the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee are doing really great work of sort of sustaining that and even enhancing it even more.
Yeah, that's our goal. Our mission, our vision is this vibrant, healthy community that's a safe place for people of all ages and abilities to walk, bike, or roll. And so, we do that by trying to create those safe, connected networks you talked about, where people have that safe space to walk or bike or roll. There's a lot of different ways to get around, and we want to make sure they do that. And we do that by focusing on safety, accessibility, health, and climate. These are, this is part of the Climate Action Plan. These are climate solutions as well.
And we're on a new segment of sidewalk here that is sort of within the last construction season, one of our newest investments. And still, again, continuing to build out the infrastructure to make sure that they're safe and connected, safely connecting neighborhoods to places, which is an important piece of this, of our plan.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just such a great example of, I think, the town's commitment and how we're trying to just build on that legacy we have of sidewalks and paths. And so this new sidewalk here connects to Honeycomb. There's a new crosswalk too, so people can safely get from the Beth Condon. A great example there is as you're driving on Route 1 or crossing there's a crossing in the middle of the road, which is a safe space for pedestrians. That was a suggestion of our committee, and actually we suggested moving the crosswalk back from the intersection a little. That also shortens the distance people have to go. So that's a good example of the type of sort of comments we try to make on town projects. And of course, town staff have been such great champions of this stuff. So thanks, Scott and the whole team for all the work that you guys do. Another just example of projects that are on the horizon and that we think about actually is Maine Dot. There's a lot of Maine Dot projects in Yarmouth happening. They're going to redo the East Main Bridge over Route 1 here. And so, some of the comments we made that I know the town is behind are widening the sidewalk on that bridge. It's really narrow, but that's a big connection for people. And then we really hope that we can find the space to connect this sidewalk to Pat's. And, that's the thing is this is great for health and recreation, for getting out. You see people walking all the time. But what we want to do is also connect people to those local businesses, to schools, to Hannaford, to Pat's Pizza, right? You should be able to have the opportunity, if you want, to bike and walk there and not just drive. So that's sort of the goal.
So with the collaboration with the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee, town staff, town leadership, this commitment to biking and pedestrian safety culture has really helped us in a lot of ways. The most notably is accessing a lot of grant funds. And so this project was locally funded. However, because we have this new sidewalk connection to Honeycomb, we're able to access state dollars to extend the sidewalk even further to Cumberland Farms on this side of the street. We've also been able to access a considerable amount of grant funds for the connection or the extension of the Beth Condon pathway from VIP all the way to the Cousins River. So you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the Beth Condon pathway is just such a great memorial and legacy for Beth Condon, and I think it is just an outstanding resource for this community. And I think the really exciting thing that's going to be happening in the next couple years that I want folks to know about is the Beth Condon will extend all the way to the Freeport line in the next several years. Yeah. And so that's going to start with the completion of the Exit 17 bridge work. Yes, it's going to get done this year. And as part of that, the Beth Condon will run past VIP Auto under the bridge to the Visitor Center. Yep. So that's going to be a great connection. In fact, you can already see sort of where they've started the path outside VIP. It's going to be a nice wide path. MainDOT is working on, with the town, extending the path then from Delorme all the way to the Cousins River Bridge. And the Cousins River Bridge that's underway now incorporates the path. So, you know, I mean, I'm looking forward to biking to get some fried clams and lobster roll on a safe path, but I think that is just so exciting that we're that close to realizing this dream of having the path from border to border, which is just outstanding. Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to wrap this up without talking a little bit about some of the other work that you're doing. You've got some new maps available for kids to help sort of highlight opportunities to get from home to school. Anything else you want to tell us about?
Yeah, I'll just quickly, our priorities for the committee. What we're looking to do is update the town's bike and pedestrian plan, and we're going to call it active transportation plan. The last time that was done is, I think, like 2017, so it's been a while, or even earlier, and so that's going to help access those grant funds. So that's going to be a big priority of ours in the coming years, and we're going to look for community input so we can say, okay, where do we want paths and stuff. Another priority of ours is outreach and education, and part of that is we've developed a new map with town staff that'll show all the paths, sidewalks, and we're going to be printing that and distributing that to kids because we know they love to ride and walk. And literally, I wanted a printout map so like families could sit down and look at this map and plan your route, right? Plan the safe route. Like, what's the quiet road you could take? Where's there a sidewalk? Where's the path? Yeah. And so we're really excited about that map that's coming out. That's always a big priority of our committee, and I think that's just an opportunity now that it's sunny out. There's so much out to reiterate those safety messages with all these people on the street. Is you know, first of all, drivers, make sure you slow down, obey the speed limit. That is we get a lot of comments about speeding. That's dangerous, of course. I also like to remind people, you know, you are required by law to stop for people on the sidewalk. So make sure you're paying attention when someone's trying to cross the sidewalk. And then for any user, whether you're biking but especially in a car, put down that phone because distracted driving is a problem. If you're biking, wear that helmet at night. Have lights. You can ride on the sidewalk in a lot of places in town. Riding your bike on the sidewalk is the safest space to be. But make sure you always yield to pedestrians. Slow down when you're coming up to somebody who's walking. Just give them a quiet mention that you're like coming up on their left or something, so they're not surprised. So those are just some tips for everybody.
Yeah, and as we roll out, as spring sort of turns into summer, and you see more of the electric scooters, some of the mini bikes that we've heard a bunch about, we'll be rolling out some additional safety information for parents and for kids who may be using those modes of transportation, again, just to make sure that everybody is safe and able to use the same resources sort of at a safe distance. And frankly, it's why we have the widths of sidewalks that we do, to make sure we can accommodate multiple users.
That's right. That's right. And that's the biggest thing, especially with those scooters, but then also biking and just walking. Just, you know, go over those rules of the road as a family. Like everybody needs to be reminded of them, kids and adults. And so, you know, get yourself familiar with those rules around the e-bikes and scooters. For anybody who's on the road, you know, follow traffic. Don't go against traffic. And like I said, definitely yield around people who are walking, for sure.
Well, Colin, thank you for what you do, and thank you for what the committee does. And this is going to be one thing that we really are looking forward to highlighting more, because, again, we are limited in what we can do, and we are so appreciative of the work that our volunteers in town do for us to help make sure we push a lot of these projects forward. So, thanks again.
And thanks for having me. And I just want to give a shout out to the other members of my committee, because we just have a great group and are always thinking creatively, and I just want to encourage residents to reach out to us. You can go on the town website, you can find our committee page and reach out if you have questions or thoughts about biking and walking.
Of
Thanks
course.
again, Scott.
Thanks, Colin.
All right.
We'll go on to the next item.
Yep.
Number 2, one of my favorite parts about doing the Friday Fives is highlighting many of Yarmouth's really phenomenal nonprofit organizations and businesses. Today we have sort of a special surprise, and we're going to highlight the Yarmouth Food Pantry. So come on, let's see if Liz is going to let us in. Hey, Liz.
Hi, Scott.
How are you?
Welcome to the Yarmouth Food Pantry.
Thanks for coming.
Come on in. I'll show you
Thanks
around.
for having me.
Sure, come on in.
I'm here with Liz Rainsborough, self-proclaimed Friday Five super fan, and more importantly, volunteer at the Yarmouth Food Pantry. And it's a really amazing facility here, and it's amazing work that you and the other volunteers do. You tell us a little bit more about the pantry?
Sure. Actually, the pantry's been around quite a while. It started upstairs in the church in this little cupboard underneath the organ. Initially, that was probably 25 years ago, and then it's gradually grown and grown until right now it's we take up a lot of space in the First Parish Church, which is really nice of them to give us this area. So we are open on Tuesdays and Fridays from 10 to 12. Very welcoming area. People are welcome to come. We do ask that you fill out a form. It's a government form for income, but it's very low key, and as long as you fit the guidelines, then you're more than welcome to come once a week. We right now have about 70 families that we see in a month. Usually boils down to about 45 to 50 families during a week. You know, it's just, we're so fortunate to have so many people that donate. The other thing that we're very fortunate is our volunteers, because it's completely volunteer run. We have about 65 people this is a lot of working parts to bring in all the food and everything. A lot of people say, where do you get all your food from? And it's amazing. It took me quite a while to figure this all out. So Hannaford's is very generous. Every Friday we have a group of drivers who go over and pick up the Hannaford load, and it's probably 20 to 25 banana boxes full of meats and produce and fruits and breads and sweets and deli meat and things that everybody needs all the time. And so we get that. Rosemont Market has great Tuesdays and Fridays. They bring over their extra baguettes and soups, and they're really wonderful things. Maggie Mays has just started a wonderful program where she buy one, give one, and if people pay for 2 soups, she brings them over. And they are so popular.
That's amazing.
It's great.
Yeah, we've talked with Kate and John over at Maggie Mays. We'll be back again at some point.
She's and she was here yesterday trying to think of how can we expand this whole program. The community garden in the summer is a great source for us. They actually this week they picked, I can't remember how many pounds of parsnips. They dug them, so we had fresh parsnips from the gardens. We have food drives. We depend on a lot. Interact Club from high school this past Saturday rented a U-Haul truck down in front of Shaw's. They brought us 1,100 pounds of groceries and diapers and baby wipes and you name it. And it's just, our pantry shelves are stocked right now. It's like such a great feeling. It doesn't feel good when you walk through and there's there's no meat, there's no rice, there's no pasta. Right now, I just feel like Christmas just happened.
It's amazing.
So, and the other thing is the Row School right now, this week I know, is doing a food drive. And they're doing kids snacks and summer food. So barbecue sauce and sunscreen and mustard and relish and stuff you need for cookouts and stuff. So if it's too late because it's Friday afternoon and you missed the Row School drop-off, know that anytime you want, you can drop off non-perishables. We have a little deck box right out back at the back door, and those can be dropped off anytime. It's always open. So
that's amazing.
We do get a lot of food from Good Shepherd, which is the statewide program, and that they make it available. So like instead of paying $1.50 to $2 for 1 can of tuna fish, it maybe is 45 cents per can. It just makes things really manageable for us, and so we do purchase a lot of things of that. Our one concern is that it has been stated that those funds to Good Shepherd may be cut, and so we're trying to come up with a lot of contingency plans to what happens if this really does happen, and we get, and SNAP benefits are cut. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that have a lot of needs. So what we're finding, though, with these kinds of conversations is that the community is stepping up, you know, just really over and over again. Every day I come down and check the deck box and it's full again, and I bring the donations in. It's really heartwarming and rewarding.
We're lucky to live and work in
We are very lucky, very lucky. And I think Yarmouth people are like, really, do we need a food pantry? But you know, I think one of the issues is that rents are so high in Yarmouth that perhaps a lot of our patrons are working families, but a lot of their income is going towards their rent, and there's just, you know, do I have medicine or do I have food today? And so we're glad that we can be here to help them. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So is there anything in particular right now that you're looking for? I know you just said that your pantry is pretty well stocked. Is there anything that you go through a lot of, or anything that's sort of
we go through a lot of coffee and tea, kids snacks, juices, personal care products. Those are always really popular because they cost a lot of money, you know, and if they do have their SNAP benefits don't always go towards those kinds of things. So, but you know, we're really fortunate there again. Sometimes we'll have a food drive that's only personal care products and stocks us right up well. So, but it's amazing with, you know, so many families how quickly the shelves get emptied. You know, it doesn't take long at all.
Yeah, I imagine. So that's unbelievable, and you guys do phenomenal work here. We're so lucky to have you as a volunteer and all the other volunteers that help make this place a reality, and we always look for opportunities to partner with you at the town, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Thanks. I would like to mention too that on April 10th we're going to be having a volunteer luncheon just to thank all of our 65 plus volunteers that we have, because we have drivers and we have packers and we have, you name it, but, you know, there's different jobs for everybody, and it's going to be held upstairs. And what I really like to do is thank the local restaurants and stores that are donating all the food for it. So we have pizza coming from Brickyard Hollow and Pat's Pizza. Clayton's will be donating some bagels. Yarmouth Rice and Noodles is going to do, I don't know, crab ragoons and fried rice and lo mein, that's my favorite. And Locally Sauce will be doing some. Maggie Mae's, of course, coming through with some salads for us. Royal River Grill House is going to do some mashed potatoes. So if there's anybody
sounds like a good time.
Anybody wants to add to it, we'd be happy to have it. So, and we're going to have about, I think, close to 50 volunteers will be coming there. So
it's a good way to reward their great
work. Well, it's been a long time. I remember one years and years ago, but then, you know, COVID hit, and it's like that's over with. So I thought we need to just reach out and tell these people how much we appreciate them, because I think we're going to be calling on them a lot more in the future. So
I imagine. So Liz, where can folks learn a little bit more about the food pantry? You have a website or emails?
We actually are part of YCAN. They oversee us, and so you can go to the YCAN website. We actually also have a email address, which is YAR Food Pantry. So it's just yarfoodpantry@gmail.com.
Great.
So,
Liz, thank you so much for participating.
My pleasure.
I'm sure we'll be back at some point.
I hope you do.
Cool.
Good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
We're on to the next item. Number 3. If you haven't already received it, you will be getting your second half sewer bill here in the mail pretty soon. And so, thought what better way to sort of celebrate that than kind of look at what the investment goes towards. So I'm here with Chris Klein, our wastewater superintendent. We're here at the wastewater treatment plant. Chris, tell us how the magic happens here.
Well, Scott, thanks for coming down. Welcome to the Yarmouth treatment plant. I think you wanted me to explain what happens, like whenever you use your toilet, anytime you put down any water down the drain, it arrives here at the Yarmouth treatment plant, where it runs through the treatment process here, where it'll go through a series of treatment processes, and then eventually it'll be chlorinated and then dechlorinated and then put out to our lovely Royal River.
And once he gets to the Royal River, it's crystal clean at that point.
It's perfectly clean, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're under strict guidelines from the DEP, and we meet those regularly.
Yeah. This is a pretty complicated system here with a lot of science behind it. It's amazing how much science goes into this and what you're required to do with the state.
Yeah, we have a lot of lab testing that we are required to do daily. Monthly testing, annual testing, everything that's coming in through to what's happening in the middle of the process and what's going out, and including our biosolids that are shipped to Massachusetts to be composted for a renewable source.
Great. So in addition to this facility, which has a bazillion different parts, the real sort of wastewater treatment system is throughout the community, right? We have various pump stations that help move waste from different portions of the town to this facility.
Correct, Scott. So throughout Yarmouth, we own and operate 30 pump stations. So when wastewater leaves your house, it may enter, it may get conveyed to the treatment plant through one pump station. If you're on the outskirts of town, it very well go through 2 or 3 pump stations before it gets here.
So it's amazing. Again, folks at home, it sort of simplified to flushing the toilet, it goes away.
Correct.
But there's a lot of process that gets it from your home or business back out into the water system.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we have a staff of 6 here, and we're pretty busy.
Yeah. So. Amazing. Well, thanks again, Chris, for having us, and we're going to be on to the next item. Number 4, I'm back again this week with Tori Hill, our Director of Community and Economic Development here with the town of Yarmouth. And a few weeks ago, we talked about a new grant program that we're rolling out for businesses here in town. And we have some more information to share, don't we?
Yes, yeah. So we are launching our new grant program, YLEAP. It's the Yarmouth Local Enterprise Assistance Program. Thank you. And yeah, so the applications will be available on our website on April 1st. Businesses and nonprofits who are in a brick and mortar location can apply for up to $25,000 for renovations. More information, go to our website and check it out, and that's where you can find the application.
That's amazing. And so there's a match requirement for businesses who are looking to participate?
Yes, so we'll cover up to 50% of your project cost.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a really great opportunity. We've often been asked about resources that are available for local businesses. This is a way to help folks expand their roots here in Yarmouth and invest in our buildings.
Exactly, yes. We'd love to keep you here, and we'd love to attract more business. So we're excited to be part of that.
That's great. So you've got some listening sessions coming up here in the near future?
Yes, yeah. So on April 15th from 9 a.m. to 10:30, there will be sort of workshop hours. So if you have a specific project in mind and you're not sure if it's eligible, you can come in and talk about it, and we'll see if you're eligible to apply and help you through the application process. And then we're also doing an evening session on April 16th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. So open hours, walk in, and we'll be there.
And as always, Tori's always available for questions, so we'll make sure her email is below. So feel free to reach out with questions, and we hope that lots of folks take advantage of this great new opportunity.
Great. Thanks, Scott.
On to the next item. We're wrapping up things this week with 2 quick reminders. First, the Town Council and the School Committee have been working hard to finalize their FY26 budget. The first round of public hearings for the finalized draft budget will be next Thursday at 7 o'clock at the Log Cabin. Number 2, if you're interested in nominating somebody or having yourself nominated for any of our leadership positions here in the town, we have 2 seats open for 3-year terms on the Town Council. We have 2 seats open for 3-year terms on the School Committee, and we have 1 3-year term that's open for the Water District Board of Trustees. So if you're interested in participating in any of those groups, make sure you connect with Lisa Grant, our town clerk. Make sure I have her information down below here. There's more information on the town's website as well. So with that, we're going to wrap up this week's Friday 5. As always, thanks so much for viewing, and we'll see you next Friday.